This is the baby J that I wanted to connect with, because this is the baby J that needed to know I need to heal that so that I can live life to its fullest potential. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be Welcome to Jadez Nook podcast, everyone. My name is Jerica. I am the host of Jadez Nook. In this episode, I'm going to be reading a letter that I wrote my 16-year-old self in honor of my daughter's 11th birthday. But before I get into that, I want to give you guys a little insight on what is my vision for Jadez Nook. Through Jadez Nook, I want to create a safe space for healing. Through my personal healing journey, I will be approaching this through two ways. So I am a nurse. I will be taking the medical professional aspect. I will be taking on that aspect in some ways, but I will mostly be developing my topics through personal experience. Again, I can't take the nursing out of it because I'm a nurse, but I'm also not a mental health professional. So there are things that I will be talking about that are more on the mental health side, do have some medical nursing components to it, but I'm also not a mental health professional. So a few things that I will be talking about are mental health, eating disorders, healing in general, personal development, marriage, motherhood. I have a ton of topics for this little podcast. This is my new baby. Okay. So I have a few things that I want to develop through here, but these are all going to be personal experiences, things that I have gone through, things that I'm going through, things that I'm healing through. So in this first episode, I chose to speak to 16-year-old baby J in honor of my daughter's 11th birthday, because I realized that 16-year-old baby J experienced a lot that she suppressed. I am the queen of suppression over here, okay? I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to be broken. But just because I don't want to be those things, it doesn't mean that I am not. So if just because I suppress it and I ignore it, it doesn't mean it's going away, right? So I've reached this point in my life where I'm like, whoa, something's got to give, because I'm not living life to the fullest of my potential. I need to start healing. I need to start diving deep within myself and figuring out what are my triggers and why am I being triggered. And I need to heal what is behind, what's tripping me, what's making me trigger, right? I need to heal that so that I can live life to its fullest potential. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be a miserable person. Life is short, and life is great if you know how to live it, right? So when I first wrote the letter, I realized that I really needed that. Like, I realized that words truly have meaning. Words and the words you say to people and the things that people say to you really matter, and you need to be careful. We need to be careful of the words that we speak onto others, the words that we speak onto ourselves, but most especially the words that we speak onto our children, or just children in general. So when I first thought of this idea, I wrote the letter, right? I wrote the letter to 16-year-old baby J, who was just having a baby. I closed my eyes and I envisioned all of this, and it was a good letter. It was a good letter. It was a lot of healing. I cried, but I'm like, I want to connect a little deeper. I want to go deeper. I want to connect with broken baby J. At what point did 16-year-old baby J adapt the mindset that she was not capable, that she was not worthy of success, that because of the choices she had made, she was no longer qualified to be successful? And I remember a day that, man, I was broken, okay? I was crying. I was just like, my daughter was about a month old. Baby daddy drama. And I was just really broken that day, and I couldn't see past my current disarray. I couldn't see how God had purpose for this. I believe that I was discounted, I guess I would say, from God's grace, that I no longer deserve that because of the choices that I made. This is the baby J that I wanted to connect with, because this is the baby J that needed to know or needs to hear of her success 11 years later. In my letter, I begin, Baby J, I'm writing you this letter 11 years later in honor of our baby girl's 11th birthday. Yes, girl, 11 years, time surely flies. Listen, I know this hurts. I know your world seems like it's crumbling right now. I know the shame and guilt is times 10 right now, because it seems like everyone is right. It seems like you're just another teen mom who will be raising a fatherless child, and just another statistic. Writing you this letter, baby J, I still feel your pain. I still feel your guilt. Through this letter, we will find peace and healing together. I know this chapter in our life is filled with so much uncertainty. And along with that uncertainty, there is scrutiny and judgment from those who are supposed to help guide you through life. This chapter feels lonely. Be still, baby J. This is hard for a reason. There is purpose in this pain, and there is a lesson to be learned. The strength that you will gain from this will carry you through many more struggles in your life. The negative words of those authority figures that were supposed to uplift you are weighing extra heavy on your heart tonight. You ruined your life. You'll be lucky if you graduate high school. You have no chance at success. Let me spoil it for you, baby J. You are more than successful 11 years later. One thing I love about you, one thing I admire about you, is your tenacity, your ability to refuse defeat as your final answer. Refuse to sink. It's still our motto. As I write you this letter, a particular moment in our childhood sticks out to me. You were 12, you attended a Christian private school, and there was a teacher who spoke over you that you were fast because you had the biggest crush on a little turd boy. She called us fast. In the Urban Dictionary, to call a girl fast is to say that she is quick to engage in sexual activity. A girl who is intentionally demonstrating the carnal behavior reserved for a woman beyond her years. Fast because you liked the boy at 12? A simple childhood crush defined you as fast. And you believed it. Not only that, you now sit here at 16 with a baby, bearing the shame and guilt and thinking she was right. I am fast. No, my child, you are not fast. You were 12 with a crush, as most 12-year-olds would, because they are now growing and rediscovering the world through the lens of puberty. You are a teenager trying to find your way through life. You now bear the responsibility of guiding this precious soul along your journey. In a couple of years, God will make you a promise. Stand still in this promise. 11 years later, he stays true to his promise. He promises that although you may struggle, you and your baby will never go without. You have struggled, baby J, but you have never gone without. Baby J, becoming a mom at 16 is not the ideal introduction to motherhood. However, it does not disqualify you from the rooms you will enter and the tables you will sit at. Baby girl, walk in those rooms and sit at those tables with your head held high. You have worked your way there. You have earned your way. You have earned the right to be there. You may not see it now, but all these challenges you are facing are shaping you into the strong, resilient person you will one day be. 11 years later, people still do the math. However, it no longer bothers you. 11 years later, you are now married with 2 more precious souls. The future holds so much promise for you, baby J. Embrace each day with hope and know that your journey is just beginning. I believe in you. I want you to believe in yourself too. Guys, writing that letter was not easy, okay? But I did it. And this was my takeaway from that letter. We need to be careful the words that we speak onto children. We need to be careful the words that we speak to ourselves. We need to be careful of the negative messaging systems that we adapt into our life because of what someone else said to us. At 16, I had so much outpour of negativity onto me that I was not going to be successful, that I ruined my life, that I was dumb, that I was this, that I was that. I understood that the choices that I made were not ideal. I am not here to glorify or glamorize teen pregnancy. It is a 10 out of 10. I do not recommend because shit's hard, right? However, it happened to me. I had no choice but to pick myself up from my bootstraps and keep it pushing. I didn't have a positive support system. I had support. I had a lot of support. I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have the help of my family. But as far as the emotional support that I needed at the time, I did not have that. And I adapted into my life the belief system that I am not capable of being successful. Although it is crazy because I am more than successful. And humbly, I say this, that everything I do, I over exceed. I am more than capable, yet I don't believe that I'm capable. And I was able to make the connection that that is where that negative belief system stems from. At 16, I was still a child, and I had all of these adults pouring onto me negativity, telling me that I was not going to be successful because of the choices that I made. And I refuse to say it was a mistake because my child is not a mistake. My child has taught me so much, and I've had no choice but to grow from that. Even now at 27 years old and she's 11, I am still growing. I am still learning how to parent her. I am still learning how to be a better person for her and my other two children. Again, words matter. And another thing that I want to touch on is it has taken me 15 years to identify that one teacher who called me fast, she marked that on my life. I'm not saying that I had a baby at 16 because she said this to me. Absolutely not. Those accountability is a big thing for me. Those were my choices and those were the outcomes of my choices. What I'm saying is that I truly believe there was something wrong with me because I liked a boy at 12. And now as an adult with children of her own, I can identify that having a crush at 12 does not mean you want to have sex. Having a crush at 12 does not make you weird. It does not make you unholy. It is part of going through puberty. Boys no longer have cooties, like, ooh, he's cute now. And I did not think those words bothered me. It wasn't until I wrote this letter and I'm literally just typing. I'm typing away, and the image of this happening to me popped into my head. It played out in my head again. And I was deeply bothered by it again, right? But now as an adult, I can give baby J a voice and I can comfort baby J. I allowed myself to feel those emotions again. However, I spoke back to my negative messaging system. I was not fast. I was 12. I had a crush. Big deal. I was not thinking about anything other than, oh my God, this boy is so cute. And I believe that we as a society don't understand the impact of our words on other people. You can break someone's soul. You can break someone's spirit just with your words. And this is something that I am still learning because from my childhood, I have learned how to be very nasty with my words. Jerica, oh, I can be nasty with my words, but I am learning that once you say something, you cannot take it back. And I'm learning that words really do hurt. They pierce your soul and they do not leave you. Negative words, especially, they do not leave you. Negative words, negative statements, they leave an imprint on your core, in your core. They almost somehow become a core belief, and you may be able to identify where it stemmed from. However, a trigger is a trigger, and most people are continuously triggered. The difference is between someone who is healing is I now understand. I have an inventory in my closet, as my therapist would say, of what my triggers are. And when someone comes talking to me crazy and I'm feeling like, what? Are we about to go there? I could stop, Jerica. What is the problem? What is being triggered in you right now? It's not even about that person, but what is that person doing that is triggering what is it triggering inside of you? You got to go internally, right? And then I can identify, okay, this is a feeling of inferiority. This is a feeling of I am not capable. This is a feeling of I am not enough. It's not even about them anymore. I am being triggered. Most people are continuously triggered. The difference, like I said, is that instead of going back and forth with people now, you go internally and you can comfort yourself because you understand yourself and you understand what is going on. Most of the time when someone makes you mad, when someone makes you sad, it's not them making you anything. It's you being triggered, right? No one, my therapist's favorite little phrase to tell me is no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And that is something, again, that I am now understanding. It's almost like, psh, yay, I get it now. If I'm healed from a certain belief system, negative belief system, if I have identified it and I have talked positivity back into myself, when someone triggers that in me, I can identify that, oh, it's a feeling of inferiority, but I am not inferior to anyone. I am not inferior, so I don't need to be angry. That person can no longer trigger me because I comfort myself. I want to challenge you guys into diving into your childhood and seeing what are some of the negative belief systems that you have adopted into your life as an adult that stem from your childhood, that stem from traumatic experience that may have happened to you, maybe someone that said something to you. That is important. That is an important piece of healing. Being able to identify where your triggers start from and what is the underlying feeling underneath a trigger. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I would love if you guys would subscribe and follow me on my social media pages. All of my social media pages are under the handle Jadez Nook. We'll give you a little Jadez Nook. So I currently have a Facebook, Instagram, and a YouTube where this video will be posted. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next episode.